it goes. Everybody, watch out and look up. It's Keep Up with Sylvan Singh. I'm here with the rest of the Keep Up crew, my comrades and cohorts. Let's get into some motherfucking shout-outs.
Oh, yeah!
It's time for some motherfucking shout-outs.
Okay, David. Thank you for coming to the show. This is David Lewis. Please give us your motherfucking shout-out.
So my shout-out, I'm going to start off with my brother, Habit Black. Great musician, great creative, great producer. Definitely want to give a shout-out to him, for sure.
All right. Hell yeah. Like I said, and not to be corny, Jimmy Fallon's looking for you, David. All right. So anyway, we ran that joke before.
Yeah.
We freaking, there was like some technical difficulties, so hopefully we'll be as funny as before.
What the fuck happened?
Like I said, bottoms up. Bottoms up. Miss Lance Bottoms, Keisha Lance Bottoms, she is the mayor of Atlanta. She has a star on the rise, just like Stacey Abrams. Actually, Stacey Abrams is a star, and Miss Lance Bottoms is a star on the rise. And she rightfully turned down a cabinet pick, in my opinion. She rightfully turned down the cabinet pick of Joe Biden. Joe Biden got a lot of help in Georgia, and she was one of the people that helped him, so he pretty much owed her. And instead of giving her the position that she wanted, the housing and urban development, which is now, like I said, occupied by Ben Carson, the Mr. Surgeon's hands, Mr. Silo, Mr. Slavery wasn't that bad. He's a fucking weirdo. But anyway, so I'm happy he's being replaced, but not by somebody amazing. Who knows who's going to hone that down? So she got offered ambassador to the Bahamas. Do you agree that she should have turned that down, David?
I mean, you look at a woman like Keisha, she's definitely knows her worth, and being an ambassador of Bahamas, yeah, that sounds cool, but she has way much more to offer. You know what I'm saying? She has so much more expertise. So kind of giving her that is kind of like, yo, just come on the team. But I think she could have did a little bit more. She has a lot more to offer for sure. Especially all the stuff that she's did in Atlanta, especially during the, the COVID-19 and all that stuff down there. So she has a lot more to offer. So do I agree with it? Not so much, because she knows her worth. You know what I'm saying? Like she knows
Absolutely.
her worth.
Yeah, and before our tainted recording, we mentioned Kamala Harris, and that is obviously one of the highest positions of the land. Joe Biden, he's not done very great things for race relations over his career, to be honest. The crime bill and segregation and busing and stuff like that. But at the very end of it, he ran with he was on the same ticket as Obama, and now he's on the same ticket as Kamala Harris. But even though he owes Miss Lance Bottoms, she did not need to take that, and I do not blame her at all. Yeah. Even though I love the vacation in Bahamas, I'm sure she does too. She will have something way better down the line. So good for her for, like you said, knowing her worth. You know all about that.
100%.
All right, let's get this. Texas Showdown, like I said before, 18 states joined the lawsuit with Texas. Texas cried foul, saying that they ran a perfect election, and they thought that places like Wisconsin, places like Michigan, places like Nevada, places like Pennsylvania, they did not. And because they didn't let Dominion run rampant on their system, they let it run on those state systems pretty much. Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, all that bullshit, released the Kraken. So the Supreme Court, highest court in the land, even Thomas, even Alito, even the newly appointed Miss Barrett, Amy Barrett, they voted in favor of the lawsuits. It was a 6-3 decision. They were very butthurt over that, but it got tossed out once again. And like I said, they tried to throw a Hail Mary over to Wisconsin, and they rejected that case too. As a matter of fact, the judge called it racist. He said that you're only going for the most density populated black areas, and that's the only place that you're trying to get rid of votes. Damn. Not only does he have pretty much mad people in this country calling racist, but now you just had a judge pretty much in a dissent call you racist. That's pretty harsh. How do you feel? Do you think that we escaped? Do you think that Biden's going to put his hand on the heart on January 20th on the Bible?
I mean, definitely. I think, so far he's gonna make a transition, but how fast? That's what it's about. How fast he's gonna make that transition, getting everything acclimated. Because Trump, he broke down a lot of things that other past presidents built. So Biden could get in there on the 20th and all that, but like he's not gonna be able to really make true change until about at least 18 months into the job. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
100 days.
Yeah.
100 days.
Mhm.
So, what are you sipping?
Oh man, so I made a little concoction, a little cognac, a little, puree, pear juice, and a little splash of
I used
ginger
to be a
ale.
bartender, and you put me
Yeah.
to shame every time
Yeah.
I watch. I'm just like, I didn't care about my patrons like that.
Yeah, nah, just
It's a 7-7, motherfucker. Take that and be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to, taste, sip good. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, man. Just sip real good. So that's what I'm sipping on, a little cognac, little fine cognac.
That's right. Little sneak peek. My man works in the marketing world, and he's also into luxury brands and luxury decor. So we'll get into that more. He's very prominent in that industry.
Happy to be here.
Of course. I'm so happy for you to be here. The defense bill, we have passed that for the last 36 to 39 years. I forgot the exact amount. Let's click on that, actually. And so there's been a lot of bipartisanship on that. They want to pass it. That would be a lot of people not getting paid in the military. There's over 100. I forgot. There's a lot of people in the military all over the world. Mm-hmm. I believe it's in the 100,000s, actually. It's like a lot of people serviced around the world. And only 1,000 people actually work for the president. And so that's funny when they mention government employees. Most of them are like pretty much lifetime. Most of them, like, no matter who's coming in and out, they're just like, hey, I'm still here. Oh, you got voted in? Oh, that's nice. Oh, I'll wait for you to get voted out. So anyway, so the defense bill, they've come to an agreement from the House and the Senate, which is like almost unheard of, but Trump wants to veto it because of the Confederate statues and the Confederate buildings, not the statues, the Confederate buildings. The defense buildings have a bunch of Confederate names on them, a lot of them like Robert E. Lee, all those typical names that you would know, and some that we don't want to know. That's great. I don't want to like glorify anybody for the Confederacy. Like you said, sore losers.
Yeah.
Those are fucking sore losers. I don't want to keep embracing the losers. Thanks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he doesn't want to get rid of that. There's a lot of people in the GOP want to get rid of it. They're just like, it's about time. Like, why do we need this? You know what I'm saying? But he's the one. His base wants it. His base wants to keep the Confederacy alive. I don't know why. They keep saying they're not racist, and they keep blaming Democrats because you're right. Democrats did actually, they were the Dixiecrats, and they did actually make those Confederate names, and they did do that. But why is the GOP always trying to, like, keep it intact? I don't understand that. Did you want to touch on that before we mentioned 230?
I mean, like, first and foremost, shout out to the military folks, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, first and foremost, salute them, you know what I mean? Everything that they do, because they fight in battles that not everybody can fight, you know what I'm saying? And so definitely shout out to them. Now, when it comes to, the Confederacy, statues and monuments and buildings and all that, I think it's a lot of American history was kind of fabricated, because it was just like, oh, these were the people that was, quote unquote, the most important people, the most distinguished people, but yet they were the most cruel people. You know what I'm saying? They're being glorified through these buildings and these monuments and all that. But I look at it from a different perspective. Like, hey, I think now removing those statues and removing those building names and all that, it kind of creates a rebirth, you know what I mean? To show the real truth, you know what I'm saying? Because Robert E. Lee, he didn't care about nothing that we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't like it.
His grandson said take it down.
Yeah, exactly. So you got people, that's related to him, that's kin to him, that's saying like, nah, this ain't valid. Like, we need to remove this statement. Remove these buildings or monuments. I think it's important. I think it's a true change that we could see in America, at least in our lifetime. I hope, that people can really, get it popping and be together and not be racism. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it on that defense bill, for sure.
Man, I wish Robert E. Lee Jr. or whatever he is, the third, the fourth. I think he's the fourth. I wish he had the Harlem flag and said it like that. Yo, man, this is just not valid, yo.
Yeah.
wish,
valid. It's not valid.
I think he would have convinced people. I think if he would have said it that way, I think they would have been like,
they'd have been like, oh yeah, we riding with him.
Exactly,
We riding with him. We
Trump
riding.
definitely. Trump would have been like, valid. Oh, we ride. Yeah.
Got to keep it valid.
Great. You're very persuasive. I don't blame. So you need to see. Maybe you can get into politics one day.
Oh no.
Hell no. He's like, I like my life. He's like,
I love my life, bro.
I love my life.
It's politics as usual.
So before we get into the next topic, Section 230, he wants to get rid of that too. That's a non-negotiable for him as well because he's super butthurt about Twitter. Jack Dorsey's been fucking him right in the ass, and he's been freaking putting disclaimers on his tweets. He's been shadow banning him. He's been banning him. He's been doing all types of. They've been labeling all types of misinformation, which it has. It has. He keeps saying that he won. He keeps quoting QAnon about the freaking child molesting and all types of conspiracy theories. He loves them all. He retweets them all. So these are private platforms. You can get your ass over to Parler if you really want to, which is like flooded with porn, by the way. I knew that was going to happen. You have an uncensored platform. That's what happened. That's what happened to Tumblr. Tumblr was totally uncensored, which was cool. But now you had mad porn, and that's what's happening to Parler right now. Cool. Now you don't have Jack Dorsey censoring your tweets, but now you have all the, which, I mean, I don't have a problem with nudity, but now next to your tweet, you got like big boobs right there. You know, if that's what you wanted, I'm all for it, but I don't know if that's what you wanted. But like I said, Section 230 prevents from big tech, which that's what they call it, Facebook, Twitter, all those places.
Yep.
So big tech, 230 prevents them from getting lawsuits for user-generated content. So like I said, if you and I went on there and got some really offensive stuff or some really libel or anything that slandered someone, it prevents them from getting sued because there's millions and millions of people on their platform. They can't be responsible for that.
Yeah.
It's just freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And so they are protected by that section. And even people on the Republican side want to get rid of it, but they do not want to tie it to the defense bill. They're like, yeah, we'll try to get rid of that, but we're not going to. And to be honest, even people on the Democratic side are thinking about it too. So watch out, Mark Zuckerberg. You're in for it. And as a matter of fact, I forgot about this actually. They're being sued. Facebook is being sued. They're trying to get them to divest. And actually, I definitely want to know your opinion on that. You're in the e-commerce world. You're all about that. So real quick, they're getting sued by many states as well, just as many states as that was in the lawsuit for the Supreme Court one. Years ago, 10 years ago, they bought WhatsApp and Instagram. And under the Obama administration, they okayed it. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, they okayed it. They were just like, here you go. And I don't think they really said, here you go, but they were just like, we don't really have anything like against it, I guess. But what they didn't know, and which, to be honest, it wasn't a secret. Mark Zuckerberg wasn't just being like, oh, no, he made no qualms about it. He wanted to buy up his competition, and he did. And I didn't think it was a great idea. It's a monopoly. That's a monopoly. You're not allowed to do that. But WhatsApp wasn't that prominent yet, and neither was Instagram. Instagram, you could even argue that Facebook made those two entities way stronger. They bought Oculus, all that good stuff. But right now, the Trump administration, not themselves, but the FTC under the Trump administration, they want to pull a reverse. And that's the only problem I have. Yes, I don't agree that Facebook should have that kind of stranglehold on communications. I definitely think that's dangerous. But I think it's more dangerous that the government gets to just say, oops, my bad, let's correct this. No, like what if, David, let's say like you have a great company and like we made a merger or something like that, and that really benefited your company. You know, that benefited, you're in the black, like you're doing really well. But, and the government goes, oops, I made a mistake, my bad, we got to take that all back. That's what I have a problem with. It's not that Facebook deserves to be treated like, you know, they are pretty evil at this point. But they definitely don't it just sets a precedent for other people. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It leaves the government open to just renege on whatever deal they want. Sorry. Let's hear your opinion on that.
Nah. I mean, I think, you know, big tech, you know, these companies, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that, to be responsible for millions and millions and millions of users' content, I think that's absurd. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a lot because there's a lot of people on the content. You know, I know some people that got like full social profiles, one for multiple businesses.
Burner account,
exactly. They got burner accounts. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about like, should Instagram be responsible for that? I don't think so. But like, I do think it should be Instagram's or any big tech's responsibility to have a task force or have a department that manages and just like watches out for that. Just like how we got the FBI and the CIA for all this, for attacks like that and all that. But I think they should have something like that on their platform, where they have like a federal bureau of investigation for Instagram to really monitor that. You know what I mean? To monitor that.
But you want the government involved in this. That's what you're saying. You want
I'm not saying I didn't mean to confuse you, but I'm not saying that the government should be involved with that. I'm saying that I think the companies themselves, just like how you have a department, if you have a company, you have an HR, you have a marketing, you should have a federal real, a investigation company that manages that. That's why I mean throw you up. I was giving you an analogy, but like,
do you want like an independent body, or do you? Because they already have that. They have a division that fact checks that. So that's why they're in trouble. That's why, like with the New York Post and Hunter Biden, and actually that's another piece of news. He just got they just revealed that he's been in investigation to 2018, and they found out that William Barr has been covering. But to be honest, kudos to him, because that's what Comey should have did with Hillary. I don't know why you're bringing up investigations right in the middle of an election. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy too. That's a whole nother story. But my point is, I think whatever their task force or whatever their department for these big tech companies, they should be working hand in hand with the government, just to kind of make sure, just like being a correspondent. I'm not saying the government should be able to come in there and tell them how to run their business. Nah, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I think they should still just be able to make the world a better place, because that's what, this digital platform is about, making the world a better place and not offending anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think like these big tech companies should be working hand in hand with the government officials, but the government officials can't be so bossy and so greedy about this shit. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta kind of let the businesses run they shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how I look at that. I mean, once again, I'm no expert. I'm no, I know this. I know this is just my opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is just me, my own opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to go to CNN or New York Times or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what I think.
I'm sending it over.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sending this over to Wolf Culture right now. Don London's gonna check it out right now.
Oh no, nah, but that's just my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? What do I know? You know what I'm saying? I'm not behind those. I'm not behind those doors.
Well, I think about San Bernardino, and I think of Apple, and I think of the FBI trying to get into that phone. And like I said, we've talked about this on the program before. Now, you think that that's harmless because, not you, I'm talking to anybody. You think that it's harmless because the FBI is trying to protect us. They're trying to save us from another mass shooting, blah, blah, blah.
For sure.
But then when you hear Apple's case, they're like, yeah, sure. I definitely get that. I definitely want to help out law enforcement. But if they can open your phone now, that means they can open your phone anytime. So when they fought the FBI over that, they won, they were not allowed, like the FBI was not allowed to crack open that phone with Apple's help. They had to crack it open themselves. They were just like, what are you doing? Why are you? And it's not interference. That's private. You know what I'm saying? Apple would do so much. Apple, one of their trademarks is privacy. That's one of their beacons. That's one of the things that they sell. They pretty much had the most secure network, pretty much. And if they went, oh my God, they would go bankrupt pretty much. Like everybody would stop buying Apple phones because they're not as advanced as other phones. But like I said, one of the hallmarks is the privacy. So if you get rid of that, boom, they're done. They're done. And so that's what I was trying to say. When the government, and I don't mean to be all conspiracy theorists, but once they even put like a fucking toe in there, get ready. They're trying to put their whole family up in there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Be careful if you get the government, because they're already intertwined with legacy media and stuff like that. So that's all. I'm just saying, be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the last part of this segment, we have warp speed. We already joked about that before. So a bunch of big pharma, and if you're not into big pharma, you might not take this vaccine. Whatever. Okay, Jim Carrey. But so he has praised Operation Warp Speed, President Trump, after the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, issued emergency authorization for Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine. So he basically was just repeating. It was just like an echo. It was like Pfizer was like, we're distributing the drugs. And Trump was like, what's that movie? Pootie Tang. It's like, it's hot. And you know what? It's hot. That's what Trump did. Trump was just like,
exactly.
And you know what? We're bringing out some drugs. So Pfizer received close to $12 billion for the manufacturing and distribution, but unlike the other companies, it took no money for research and development. We know all about R&D. And, so like I said, Trump, he's just like every other white guy. He's just trying to take credit for the black people's success. And as a matter of fact, it came from Germany, it came from Turkey, and the lead chemists or the lead engineers of these drugs were black. So, of course, Trump had to frickin' try to take credit. As a matter of fact, I'm going to find that person while you give your 2 cents, Dave.
I mean, when you think about this whole COVID-19, and I think most importantly, like definitely giving, hoping everybody that's doing well if they lost somebody for sure. Because when I look at the news, it's like mad deaths and all that for sure, and that shit is crazy. So definitely, I send prayers and positivity to anybody that's lost and interacted with somebody that encountered COVID-19. Now when you talk about the vaccine, once again, this is just my opinion. Like the vaccine, I really hope it works for people that do take it, you know what I'm saying? And it really just helps prevent people. But this is something that we should have already, as a country, we should have already been ahead of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just, we lost over, like, I think it's like, when I looked at the news the other day, it's well over, like, close to, like, 500,000 people. Well, I think it's, like, 250,000 people.
Pearl Harbor, and it's more than 9/11.
That shit is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in New York City, like, when 9/11 happened. So I know about all those people. Like, imagine going back to school and then somebody be like, oh, I lost my pops, I lost my moms. Like, that shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's bugged out, So, when it comes to this vaccine, I just really hope that it really works for the people that really need it. And, when it comes to all this money shit, like, this big pharma, that's big pharma, and I can't even talk in those walls, you know what I'm saying? Because that's way out of my league, so I don't even want to talk about that,
Be careful, they might pay your checks one day. You're a good marketer, so they'll definitely come knocking at your door. They're like, he can sell liquor? Oh, man, it's like booty thing. He can sell drugs. He can sell bad food, booty.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, it's crazy, though, but, like, most importantly, I just think, like, I just hope that we get it done together. We get it all together. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's just important that because we shouldn't have lost these many people. You know what I'm saying?
Totally agree.
As a country, like I don't care if people were racist that died. I don't think people should have died due to this pandemic. Just something that we could have, as a government, as a country, we could have came together and got it popping.
I feel you. Except for the Proud Boys, they can die. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
The very vaccine, this is quoted from David Fauci before we move on to our music. The very vaccine is one of the two that is exactly exquisite levels, 94 to 95% efficacy against clinical diseases, almost 100% against serious disease that are shown to be clearly safe. The vaccine was actually developed in my institute's vaccine research center by a team of scientists led by Dr. Barney Graham and his close colleague, Dr. Kazmekia Corbett, or Kizzy Corbett, if you want to call him that. So the first thing you want to say is African brothers and sisters I know he's a little corny saying African brothers and sisters, is that the vaccine that you're going to be taking was developed by an African-American woman. And that's just a fact. Like I said, Trump didn't go out of his way to say that, did he? No, he went to go say, it was me. It was me. I did it. I saved America, which he didn't. We've said this before. White people love to be on third base and tell everybody they hit a triple.
Exactly. Nah, they be pump faking. They be pump faking.
They be pump faking.
Yeah, like they be thinking that pump fake saved the game. Like, nah, that did not, bro. That did not.
Nah, that was like a Charles Smith pump fake. No
yeah.
good, no good.
It's crazy.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's
do
this
it.
is great. You're a great music man, so this would be perfect.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What the fuck did I hear?
Right, David, we went over the outline with the music, and I was very I wasn't pleasantly surprised. You have great taste in music. So, and like I said, I had a guest on this show before, and she was telling me about my demographics, and she was saying, yeah, you love hip-hop and R&B. And I do. Don't get me wrong, I really do. And I love the lo-fi we were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I love Insecure. I was watching I May Destroy You. They have a lot of lo-fi on there. They have a lot of Stormzy. A lot of Stormzy's on Kid Cudi. I love him. Yep. He's a big time. So like I said, we have a lot of music in common when it comes to that kind of music. So Boldy James, how do you feel about Real Bad and Boldy?
I think it's smooth. I mean, I think I haven't fully encompassed the whole project, but I just know his music just from working with the Alchemist. So shout out to the Alchemist for sure. Like Alchemist a legend. You know what I'm saying? So all the projects that he had on that, I think it's just smooth. So I'm really looking forward to kind of deep diving in this project for sure, because he never misses. You know what I'm saying? Like he never misses. So his music is valid.
He's so young. He's so young. I love Boldy.
He's just like his music intellect is just so open minded, and I think that's what makes great musicians. You know what I mean? Yes, you can stay in your lane, but you know what's right, and then you know what's not right for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think he's just always been that character or that musician to really make music that just keeps staying consistent and keeps staying smooth. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that project for sure.
He reminds me of Earl Sweatshirt, and not because and I'm not saying that like one is better than the other, but it reminds me of it. Earl Sweatshirt had the same kind of love of production wise that Boldy James has.
100%.
And not to say that Earl Sweatshirt didn't have he had a lot of people in Odd Future and stuff like that, but Boldy James got the Alchemist. And speaking of Alchemist, I just saw Action Bronson. He lost 160 pounds.
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. But yo, shout out to Action Bronson because you know what I'm saying? Like losing that weight, that shit is crazy. And I sent him so much positive vibes, bro. Because like I remember Queens. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Big Queens. So, he's just always been like a husky dude. So now to see him, with that weight loss is different. But, health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he did in his mind as well as in his heart to make that change. So salute him for sure. I really miss his food shows. You know what I mean? His food shows, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got to come back. For sure. 100%.
That's delicious. Delicious. He's kind of getting outpriced. He might have to move off of Vice because Vice is, we know. David and I used to work in the cannabis industry, just the tech side of it, not the distribution of it. But we met people like that from Vice and stuff, and they're cheap. They're great. They're a great company, but they do everything on the cheap.
Yeah, they definitely slide with it for sure. I mean, I get it. They trying to save money, but like you're not making no money. You can't be paying people pennies on a dollar. You know what I'm saying? When they getting big checks. But back to Action Bronson. I think even though if he doesn't do it with Vice or whomever, I think he could just run that whole shit himself. You know what I'm saying? Like him and his crew. Like he could partner up with somebody like whether if it's a Netflix or Hulu or even HBO Max, whatever. I don't know. Like he could just Showtime. You know what I'm saying? Like he could come out with his own shit, or he could keep it, self-employed by just having people go to actionbronson.com and just fucking with his music right from there and his shows from there. So just keep it direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying? So
totally agree.
Action Bronson. Yeah, exactly. I hope not. That'll be bugged out. But like, that'll be bugged out. Yo, Action Bronson. Anybody that's an Action Bronson crew, like, this is not what we talking about. We talking about like, yo, direct to consumer. No OnlyFans. Have the website lit. People go in there. Watch the videos, even if it's like an archive of past videos. I don't know how Vice will feel about that, but he could have it direct to consumer and start his own show back because that cooking show.
By the way, I have the bodies. Freaking OnlyFans. Just saying. No, I'm joking. Like, how could you not have the body? Anyway, Pumped Up Kicks. That was a very popular song back in the day. Foster People are still a great band. And they just came out with an EP. It's called In the Darkest Nights. You can hear them on a lot of soundtracks. Not the whole album is called, or the EP is called In the Darkest of Nights, Let the Birds Sing. So if you like indie rock, Foster People are still amazing. Do you listen to Foster People, or do you remember that song? Pumped up kids, better run.
Yeah, I remember that song. I have to check out this project because they always kind of hit. You know what I mean with their music. Yeah. So it's for folks that's gonna be tuning in later, definitely check them out. Just give them a spin. But definitely I'm looking forward to this. I'll have to check this out. I'm so glad that you brought this up because so it's good expanding your music archive for sure.
This is true. So then we have something that we both listened to. We had Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon Part 3, The Chosen. I'm a big fan of the first two. I haven't really heard, and not to say that Kid Cudi comes out with trash music, but I haven't heard like a really, really good album from him since 2013, and that was Indica. Yeah, that was really, really good. And he's come out with some decent stuff. And to be honest, I think he finally started getting back on the right track with Kids See Ghosts with Kanye.
Yep.
How do you feel about this project, and do you agree at all with what I said?
Yeah, so how I feel about the project, I'm digging it. And to what you said, I think you made a strong point about once he's getting back into production with the Kanye crew and all that, he's producing a lot more better music. And I think with Cudi, I think Cudi just has to, just really not really so much stay consistent, because I feel like he kind of stays consistent, you know what I mean? But I think he just has to kind of get into his flow of just being behind the boards as well as in the booth making a song too, because I think that's what makes him stand out. But this project is actually fire. I bumped it yesterday. I bumped it yesterday. And what surprised me too, while I was bumping it, it was just like, yo, I didn't even know he had a track with Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, that surprised me.
That's the one with Stormzy.
That's what I'm saying. That shit surprised me. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I wanted to bring that up.
That's a really good track. That's a very good track.
That surprised me. And then that just shows you too, R.I.P. Pop Smoke. That just shows you that Pop Smoke was just so multifaceted.
So
he was just tapping in with everybody, because I would never thought Pop and Cudi on the album. I would have never thought that. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be that big and not bump into Cudi, man. You can't be that big and be like Cudi.
Exactly.
Cut me a track, Cudi.
Yeah, cut me a track. You know what I'm saying? So for that to come into fruition, and for Cudi to deliver that project with grace and style, with the the late great R.I.P. I think that just shows even more excellence. So that song is fire. I even I think it's another song. I may be pronouncing it. I know the album just came out, but it's called Showtime or Showtime Girls or something like that. Damn, I can't remember it.
That's okay. I'll find it for you.
Yeah, so it was just that song slaps too. So if you haven't heard,
shout out to the artwork, by the way.
The artwork is fire.
Really good artwork.
Artwork is fire. You know what I'm saying?
It's called Show Out. That's the one with
Show Out. Yes. Yep. But no, it's another song too. I think it's before the song Dive. It's Showgirls, or she knows this. Yes, she knows this. Sorry, Kid Cudi and the crew, if y'all peep it. I didn't mean to mess up the album. You know what I'm saying? I was recollecting. But that song right there is fire too. I like how the transition goes in that album. BPMs change and all that. So it's a smooth track on that for sure. So
totally agree.
I'm digging that. I'm digging that 100% for sure.
I'm also digging his acting career. He has a regular role on Westworld. He was very good in How to Make It in America. I was
100%.
I was so sad when that ended. I think that only lasted 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And he's also a Trump supporter, not in real life. He's a Trump supporter in the HBO show We Are Who We Are.
Yeah.
He is he's an not army brat, but he's raising an army brat pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And he's within that camp. I saw the first episode. It kind of bored me, but a lot of people love it, so maybe I'll get back into it. But shout out to him. He's actually a pretty good actor as well, and I'm so happy for him. I love Man on the Moon. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Part 2 as well.
Yeah.
Again, but to be honest, it was almost 15 years ago when he came out. So nobody's asking him to outdo those last 2 projects or even outdo what he previously done. He's already a legend, but I'm just happy that it's pretty much on par this time.
Yeah, and I want to chime in on that. One thing that I feel like a lot of people always say, oh, this album wasn't better than his or her last when they talk about musicians. It doesn't need to be, because that music was fire at that time, and now when you're looking in the future or in the present, you at a whole different moment in life. So when people always try to compare that, that album or her album or his album wasn't like that. I like where Cudi's going. I just want to see more from Cudi. I want to see more from Cudi on the production side. I want to see more from Cudi on the film side. I want to see more production from Cudi. Just as a figure in our music and in our culture. You know what I'm saying? So because I feel he did the stuff. I think he did a campaign with Coach, and he even helped out with Coach on the sales. Nobody was really fucking with Coach. You know what I'm saying? Coach is classic. Don't get it wrong, but Coach died out. You know what I'm saying? And then when Cudi came in and being the face of some of the campaigns, I remember I saw an article and it was talking about Coach sales, menswear went up, highest than it ever been. And that was because of Cudi, because Cudi has that much influence on men's fashion. So I just want to see more from Cudi on the music, on the film, as well as in the industry on that side. So for sure. So I'm happy that he's back in the loop, and I hope to see more for 2021.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like when it comes to hip hop and fashion, the big names, the big white names, the big European names, I feel like A$AP Rocky kind of paved the way for that. And I feel like Kid Cudi, didn't he get that deal way before Coach? Didn't A$AP Rocky? He's like the spokesperson for Louis Vuitton and for Gucci and stuff like that. He's like,
I know. Rocky was around a lot of fashion for sure. I know he had JW Anderson collab. I know he did that. I'm trying to think of what else did
he was all
Rocky.
over the billboard.
He was all over. Yeah, he was all for LV for sure. But I don't think he was like the official like ambassador. I think they just got him as a model, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But like, yo, Rocky, you know, speaking of Rocky, yo, come out into the streets, bro. Like, come outside.
He did with Rihanna, man. Everybody's talking about it.
I mean, like, yeah, like,
are they dating?
I mean, hey, I'm talking about like, yeah, his love life, that's something different. But Rocky, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rocky, bro, like, get in the streets, bro. Like, come on, you supposed to be doing a lot more, bro. You a real icon, bro. So I just want to see more from Rocky in 2021. And I'm not just talking about music. Like, he got I think he has the deal with like MTV. You know, he had an MTV show, and that
he
didn't
was in jail last year too. He was in Sweden. He was in Sweden.
I mean, fam, like, come on, like, yeah, I think he was locked up in Sweden for like what 60
it was like
days.
A few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks.
No, it might be. It actually might be. But he was not very happy about it.
Exactly. And listen, I don't condone anything about anybody getting locked up. Like, you know, that was a whole different country. Like, I get it. Like, that shit is crazy. But that's when
Swedish people, man. You can't beat up Swedish people, man.
Nah, that's 100%, and that's why
it's like pretty much bullying.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I look at it like that's when Rocky should have came harder. Like, he had all that. He should have just took that downfall or that L and just bounced back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just bounce back a little bit harder, because Rocky had the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think he still has some of the streets, but like, I think he just want to see more. I just want to see more from him in 2021 for sure. You know, I hope he's in the right mental. Yeah. Hope.
And speaking of mental, Kid Cudi, Mr. Miscuddy, he's had a lot of mental problems.
Oh, for sure.
And according to him, he's calmed them down a lot. And it makes sense, because a lot of great art has come his way and a lot of great opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And, like you said, health is wealth, and people are picking up that vibe from him.
For sure.
So we have the Avalanches. We Will Always Love You. They're a great alternative rock band. And then we will get into the person you shouted out. Please tell me about Habit Blcx and God Is Here.
So shout out to my man Habit Blcx, great musician, great producer, great creative person, great energy. He has a project, God Is Here, very, very instrumental heavy, all instrumental heavy, but just vibes that's going to help you just kind of stay motivated and just kind of help you get to whatever you're trying to get to, you know, whatever that may be. So his project is fire. He has a lot of great other projects as well, where he's kind of really speaking with live bands, performance, you know. So I'm loving this album. I'm bumping it consistently. It's just smooth, you know what I mean? It's just something to just kind of get work done to, but also, you know, riding with your shorty, she could listen to it too. Just catch a good vibe, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Habit Blcx for sure. God Is Here.
Well, I gave David the outline very late, so this is all my fault. But I definitely haven't been able to listen to it yet. But I love your taste in music.
Yeah,
I'm very appreciative that you shouted this person out. The person, like I said, when we come out with the YouTube version, we'll have his artwork right on the screen while we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And just a nice little tidbit. So let's get into what the fuck we watched.
Thanks, Mom. You don't have to go outside. Awesome.
What the fuck did I watch?
All right, we'll keep this short. As a matter of fact, this is one of my favorite segments, and we usually go pretty long. But like I said, you have a love life. Thank God one of us has one. and thank goodness you watched some of the shows that were on here. Like I said, this is like a record low. We usually jam pack the what the fuck did I watch, but again, short week, all good. Grand Army. It's about a school in Brooklyn. If you miss Degrassi and you love New York school systems and you love how diabolical that could be, there was a bombing on the first episode, and everything trickles down from that. And you have a lot of like very Gen Z type of situations that are happening. You can even argue millennial. David has watched this show. How do you feel about Grand Army?
You know, Grand Army is really dope. Just growing up in the New York City public school system, it really kind of paints a picture of what happens in the New York City public schools, and you know, just the trials of different cultures, just coming together and just being that melting pot. But Grand Army, dope show. I love it. I love that they have, they're really up to time with the current situation. So as an audience, you can relate to, it's kind of like in real time in a way of what's happening in the world. So I really appreciate that. But I'm digging it 100%, man. I'm really looking for season 2. I think season 1 ended very well. And just kind of looking forward to the next season. But I'm really loving all the characters and the personalities and the way it's shot. Just the cinematography. It's looking real good. So Netflix, shout out to Netflix for that, for sure. Yeah,
I love the animation with the Asian girl.
The one
that they call Jab Pussy and stuff like that. That shit is really mean. But high school is vicious, so we can't really be shocked about it.
Exactly.
That. And I totally agree with you. They don't really show inner city high schools that much on television shows, especially from Brooklyn. And you get to see how woke white people are very disingenuous within the high school system. You see how it starts up that way. You end up voting with them and Bernie Sanders later on in New Hampshire and shit like that. But it really starts at a school in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So no, you're right. I enjoy the show. I'm not that I try to get away from high school programming, but I think it's kind of creepy at this age that we look for it, and not that you're looking for it, but when it's quality and it comes out and it grabs your attention, you got to go for it. So Grand Army is a very dope show. Hopefully it gets a second season, not because it's not quality, but because of COVID. It's very hard to shoot that show in New York City. So hopefully we get that season 2, and hopefully they start shooting. White Lines. It is an Australian show. It is shot in Ibiza. This woman, her brother dies, and she goes to pick up the body, but she senses that something's fishy. So she tries to do her own independent investigation on the island of, like I said, Ibiza. And if you're like some freaking snood, Ibiza. I hate people say it that way. I know, right? It sounds like I beat that. Ibiza. What? What are you talking about? What? That sounds personal, bro. Okay, I beat that.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
There was a movie called Ibiza on Netflix, super duper trash. So thankfully, the Australians came up and tried to redeem this, because Ibiza is a great place. I've never been. Have you been?
Nah, I haven't been. I wanted to go when I was in Barcelona. Definitely wanted to bust it over there, but I never made it. So soon come for sure.
Soon come, brother. I love David too. Another part about David, he is a traveler like myself. He just up and goes. He just, whether it's Mexico, whether it's Paris, right? He doesn't even tell anybody. He just goes, I'm out. And so I always appreciate that about him. And he's very cultured too. He doesn't just stop, you know what I'm saying? He goes to museums like I do. I love all that good stuff, man. So keep that up.
Yo, appreciate that, man.
Speaking of that area of the world, we have Fatima. And that is, if you think that's very familiar, that is Our Lady Fatima. If you go to a religious school, like Francis of Assisi, if you're a big Catholic or Christian. So Fatima is not in the Bible. I learned that today. I did not read the whole Bible. I have read the Bible before, but I've never read the whole thing back to front. So I was mistaken. I thought that she was in it, and I thought people like Joan of Arc and stuff. But I forgot that saints are not in there. That's way further down the line of the timeline. So she's not in the Bible, but she's inspired like that, and it's pretty much a sainted story. It's about the girl from Lisbon, Portugal, with her friends, and she sees the Virgin Mary, and she goes through a very hard time. As a matter of fact, to be honest, even 2020 they try to call women witches. So I don't know if there's that much different, but at least they're not burning at the stake. Or at least they don't have arrows going through them like Joan of Arc. Are you familiar with the Lady Fatima story, David?
Nah, I'm not. But, I'm so glad that you put me on. I definitely do want to check it out. I think it's always something good to get cultured, as you said. I think just widen the scope. So I'll definitely check it out for sure.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Add to it because, like I said, you're just cultured as fucking yogurt. Anyway, let's get like I said, man, that was a short version of What the Fuck Did I Watch, and my man's got a date tonight. He's late for a very important date. Let's get to What the Fuck Did I Say?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
What the fuck did I say? Here we go. David Lewis. He's had his own LLC. He's had his own brands. He has uplifted and enhanced brands. I've been there with him to do it. I've seen him do a very good job at it. I've seen him do great on his own, just perfecting his own brand. He is, like I said, we try to highlight brands on this show. We try to highlight people that have amazing verticals that intertwine with their very, very great day jobs. And David is the epitome of that. Please tell me more about his great show that is on IG Live, Break the Ice. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I'm saying this on the air, I hope to be on it one day.
Nah, you definitely will. Most certainly. Most certainly.
A lot of things.
Most certainly, you'll definitely be on there, man.
Right.
You know, you good, man. You good.
It's like with the parents. It's like, can he sleep over? Can he sleep over? Why are you asking me in front of him? Oh, I don't want to step in front of him.
Yo, listen, you'll be on the show for sure, man. We need to, your story needs to be told. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely gonna be on there. So definitely thanks for having me on this show. For the folks that's going to be tuning in later, Break the Ice is really just a show of uncovering what's possible. And what that means is listening to story and hearing inspiration from people that overcame the impossible to make it possible. So that's what Break the Ice is about, because I feel like we're all like icebergs, meaning you only see the tip of the iceberg, meaning that there's so much more underneath of us to uncover. Absolutely. So that's what Break the Ice is about. It's a dope show. I do it every Thursday on Instagram Live. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could definitely check it out. We have amazing guests, and these guests are just real people that are connected in the industry, people that are behind the scenes, that make things possible that you see on the larger screen, on the larger screen. So, you never know who's going to pop up on Break the Ice. But that's the show. That's the synopsis of the show. I mean, it's just, my goal is, as you know me, I'm all about just making sure, inspiration is shared, that everything is just being creative and everything is just kind of stepping up to the next level, because you only go around this shit once. And I mean life. You only go around this shit once. So why not
around
just be
sun, baby. That sun.
Why not just
around
be ill the whole time? You know what I mean? Like, why not just be dope the whole time? You know what I mean?
That should be a shirt. Why not be ill the whole time?
Exactly. Why not be ill the whole time, So I look at it like, I just want to keep, doing what I can to, especially right now with COVID, like nobody can link up. Like I guarantee if COVID was not here, we would have been doing this shit in person. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like we would have just pulled up, linked up somewhere, set up shop, and then boom, we got the podcast and the Zoom going. But, now with COVID, we doing it virtually. And I just feel like there's a lot of people that want to hang out with people, connect with people, but they can't because of COVID. So I just want to give people, as they're scrolling through their Instagram, just a boost of just inspiration, a boost of like, oh shit, she did that, or he did that, or they started this and they learned that and they had this fallback and now this is how they're moving. You know what I mean? I just want to keep passing the baton back to other people so that other people can just continue passing that torch. It's really kind of just paying it forward so everybody could just be dope, just be ill all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
right. The whole time.
The whole time.
What was by the way, we have a pretty much identical criteria when we look for guests.
Yeah.
And that I definitely noticed when I watched the show. Again, big fan. I love everything.
Appreciate that.
I love the name of the show. I love the concept. I love the breaking. I love the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I love it all. Big fan.
Appreciate that.
So my thing is, was it like an epiphany or was it something that was a developed thought?
It was just something that I always wanted to do because I feel like, I came in contact with people like you. I came in contact with a lot of people in my life that's just like fucking dope. You know what I mean? And they do a lot of dope shit. And I feel like sometimes you don't really get to know or hear their story unless you see it on the big screen. And I wanted to kind of expose the people that are really the movers and shakers behind the scenes that are really making the big screens popping. You know what I mean? And it wasn't an epiphany. It was just more of like, all right, cool. I want to just talk with my friends. You know what I mean? I want to talk with people that I know, who I'm inspired by, who I look up to, who I'm moved by, and things like that. So that's how I Break the Ice, the birth of it occurred. You know what I mean? It was just more just me being a fan of everybody else and just kind of looking at it and how can I take their stories and use it as inspirations for people that may want to get into the fashion game, that may want to get into the marketing game, that may want to get into health and wealth, that may need help in career success or, getting into, legal or anything like that. I just want to provide, inspiration to show it that there's a pathway for it. You know what I mean? So that's what Break the Ice is about.
No, you come from a great pedigree, by the way. And I was going to ask
appreciate that,
question,
man.
And I don't mean to blow you up, but you're definitely from the line of John Barbados, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
You're very, like I said, you're very prominent in those. So that's what my question comes from.
Yeah.
You market great luxury products. You're right now the liquor game, the spirit game. Other than that, obviously this is your breadwinner right now, so you can't be like, oh, I have a favorite. No.
Yeah.
What other than your spirit brand that you've been doing lately? what other kind of what kind of marketing was your favorite? Like, what was something that was just easy to sell for you because like you just loved it yourself? What was your favorite thing that you've either marketed on a job or like freelance, whatever it was?
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite things was where I am right now in the spirits industry, because I think the spirits industry meshes well with me and my personality, you know, just being charismatic, being, you know, not really so much the life of the party, but making, you know, really being very hospitable, making sure that people are having a good time, people are being, you know, exposed to new things and trying new things, you know, and things like that. So I would say right now, in the spirits game is where I'm having the most fun when it comes to marketing and e-commerce, and just really just kind of, you know, really just kind of do as I want, if I want to say that. But, you know, of course I do things in with a strategic mindset. But right now in the spirits game, that's where I'm having the most fun. I'm coming up with cool concepts, you know, things that are just different because I have that diverse background coming from, you know, the fashion industry, the cannabis industry, just really looking at how other brands marketed their products to their consumers, how they engage with their consumers. I feel like the spirits industry didn't have that. They just had cliche shit, you know what I mean? And not to knock anybody that's, you know, a OG in the game. I'm just saying.
We love cliches over here.
Yeah,
don't worry.
yeah, you know, we wanted to really like, yo, like I felt like, okay, you got a new alcohol, we're going to throw a party. All right, cool. Well, why not do an alcohol party, you know, you got a new brand, but not only give people a experience where they can make a cocktail at home, buy something online, you know, and then get like free merch or buy merch, you know, just kind of looking at it like a whole 360 approach, because you got to think about marketing the life after marketing. So yeah, you marketed to somebody, all right, boom, they bought your product. How do you still maintain relevant in their life after that? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where I'm having the most fun, because I'm making sure that not only people are buying the products, but they having fun after they bought our products, and they continuously to buy our products. Just kind of have repeat business, you know. So to answer your question, long-winded, I'm sorry, but
no,
really the spirits industry is where I'm having the most fun. And I'm not trying to like degrade my past experience, because my past experience got me to where I am today. You know, it got me to be on this show because we met during my past experience, you know what I'm saying? So, and we killed it there, you know what I mean? You know, we had a lot of dope concepts. Yes, there were trials and tribulations, but I think for the most part,
startup life.
Yeah, it was startup life, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we made shit shake, you know what I mean? We killed it, you know what I mean? And now we're here now in this moment right now in life, and just doing bigger and better things because of the past experiences that we learned from. So,
are you allowed to talk about your youth initiative that you worked with your marketing like you did? I saw that actually, and that was really cool.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I was always speaking, you know, every last Saturday of the month down in Harlem, just really kind of talking to, you know, middle school and high school kids, and just really kind of giving them game. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I walked into the meeting, they thought I was like, you know, in the music industry or anything like that. Yeah, everybody.
I was like, what is Andre Harrell?
You know,
like, who is this?
Yeah, exactly. So people always think I'm in the music industry, and the whole point of the premise of speaking to these middle school and high school kids was to kind of let them know, like, you could be anything that you want. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a rapper. You could be those, not knocking those industries, but you could be even more than that. You know what I'm saying? You could really elevate your mind. If you want to be an engineer, like, cool, be an engineer. If you want to get into marketing and e-commerce, you could do that too. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a judge, whatever the case may be, I was there. My purpose was to show these middle school kids and high school kids that you don't only have to go the two routes, rapper or athlete. You could go, it's infinite possibilities to be whatever you want. So when I was doing that, it was just really kind of exposing those kids and really giving them a mindset like, yo, I'm cool too, and I'm not transforming who I am. You know what I mean? I'm not pump faking at the job. I walk into the job just like this. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I wanted kids to see that, like, you can still be you and still be cool, and not only just be limited to the rapper or the athlete avenue. You could be more than that. So that was just my whole initiative with the kids. Nice. When I was part of that program.
I love it. Man. I said, that was amazing. You have great verticals. Good thing they didn't send Chris Rock, my favorite comedian, because during his stand up, he sends his kids to Alpine, New Jersey, one of the richest areas in the country.
Yeah.
and he was at an orientation, and and the vice principal was like, he said the same thing you said, which I'm with you.
Yeah.
You speak to the youth, that's how it goes. And the vice principal said the same thing. He was like, all of you can be whatever you want to be. And Chris Rock was like, no, some of you are going to be driving for Uber one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
But there's always a flip side of that. That's what I meant. My bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. But you're right.
Yeah. Nah, I was just gonna say too, like, yo, and don't like, I'm not even knocking people that drive Uber because that's their hustle. That's how they get money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, whatever is your hustle is. My whole point was to show these middle school and high school kids that they have infinite possibilities to be whatever they want. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So they don't have to just settle. Oh, well, if I want to be a successful black man or a Latino man, I have to either be a rapper or an athlete. Like, nah, you could not knocking those people that did that. You could be more than that, and that's what my goal was to be that. So if they want to be an Uber driver, cool. Be the illest Uber driver. Have your Uber have fucking, when you walk in, like, automatic hand sanitizer. You know what I mean? Have your favorite song playing. You know what I mean? Like, have it smell good. You know?
I'm only interested in the cash cab, man.
Exactly.
If Uber doesn't light up and try to do trivia, I'm stepping right out.
Exactly. You know, you could. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want people to be innovators and just be culture, movers and shakers. You know what I mean? Just show them that it's more infinite possibilities out there to be the best and be yourself at the same time.
Yeah, unless you have anything else to promote, I have one more thing to relate to that, actually.
Talk to me.
I was walking for the bank, and I live in a very predominant black neighborhood. I live in Southside Jamaica, Queens, where we've talked about Power Book. Like I said, David's trying to convince me to get back in. He did a good job. He black guilted me, too. I was like, damn it. He was like, yo, man, you got to support your black creators. Like, he's right. Even though I saw the whole shit of Power, all the seven shitty seasons. It wasn't shitty, but actually really good. And even though season 6 or 7, I think it was 7 or 6, it was 6. Yeah. It was trash, but it was like legendary trash. It was like something like you can't forget. So you're just like, something it wasn't trash. Yeah. So back to my point, I saw a black person skateboarding, and I don't usually see that often. As a matter of fact, it actually is pretty prevalent in my neighborhood. The more that I've seen it, but it put a smile on my face because even when my black brethren are doing regular things, that makes me happy. Like out of the box, like you just said, not just having like these stereotypes in your head and just be like, oh yeah, he should be at the basketball court, or he should be here, he should be there. No, it put a smile on my face. Like, this motherfucker's just being him. He doesn't give a fuck about just being whatever. He woke up and he says, I like to skateboard. It doesn't matter what demographic likes to skateboard. I like to skateboard. So I agree with you what you're telling those the youth. Yes, don't relegate. Don't ever pigeonhole yourself, because there's going to be too many people that are going to do that to you for you. Exactly. 100%. 100%. I think it's just being yourself and just killing it. Just being ill all the time. You know what I'm saying? Being ill all the time. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And they had the perfect role model. Like I said, thank God they didn't get Chris Rock. Thank God they didn't get Charles Barkley. They had you. Not so Charles. Sir Lewis.
Hey, I was just trying to drop some knowledge, man. That's it.
You did a perfect job. Dude, I love the glasses. I love the look. I love everything.
Appreciate it.
Dude, romanticize it, man. I could do that all day.
Yo, shout out to my boy Corey, young Corey. Yes. He has a brand called Circulate. Fuck with it. It's dope. This is one of his vintage pieces.
I'm gonna look it up.
Check it out. If you check out his brand, circulate.com. Check it out. It's dope, fly shit. You could definitely get jiggy with it for sure.
Send me the tag, and on the video I'll put that.
I definitely will.
Cool.
Definitely will.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's let you get back to your love circle. I love it. We'll give a little wave hi to her, like, your little.
For sure, definitely. I got you.
Cool. And like I said, hopefully I will continue watching your great show. Like I said, on Thursdays, 8 p.m. You said, right?
8 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. Please watch that. Break the Ice. Host right here with the most, David Lewis. Where could they find you? Where do you want them to find you?
Yo, so you can easily check out my Instagram, Dave.Lewis_. Check me out, follow me, and follow you back. Hit me up. I'm just real. I'm just real on the Instagram. Ain't no hiding. I don't delete posts or anything like that. Just fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? We in the streets, so we making it happen. We just spreading positive energy, man. We only go around the shit once. So you can find me on Instagram, Dave.Lewis_.
Fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. As always, you can find us on @KeepUpNYC on Instagram. You can find us on Keep Up Shut Up on Facebook. You can find us on Patreon. You can find us on Twitch. If you type in Still Insane, you'll pretty much get it all. StillVinsane.com. We're on YouTube. That's also Still Insane. You'll see his pretty face with his tinted glasses right on the edit. I'll try to have that done as soon as possible. But every Tuesday, we premiere a new episode.
Cool.
So here we go.
Yo.
You better shut the fuck up, listen up, and keep up with my man Dave Lewis and Still Insane. Over and out, homies.